There are many people walking around and observing our drones and are wondering what's going on. So we would love to engage in a discussion with them and explaining what they do. So you can always walk up to us and ask us what we do, because we like to educate the public of what it is that we are doing and why we are there. So the Longbow Group is a aviation services and consulting firm. We have been working since 2006 in projects related to commercial aviation, commercial airplanes. And we have since 2014-15 switched to unmanned systems, drones and airspace relating to drones. We're working with NASA and the FAA and others to architect the airspace so that it can safely operate autonomous vehicles like drones. Well, the biggest challenge that we always face when we fly autonomous systems is regulation. And that's really at the core of our research, is working with the FAA, which creates this regulation, which manages national airspace, is to come up with safe ways, safe procedures, safe technology to allow unmanned systems to fly in an already busy national airspace. And every time we want to do something like beyond visual line of sight or, flying over people, we have to sit down with the FAA and explain how we want to do that, how we want to safely do that, what kind of technology we either have available to make that happen, or what kind of technology do we actually have to develop to make that safely happen. And the regulatory aspect of unmanned systems is really one of the biggest challenges. The second challenge is community integration. So we are bringing aviation much closer to the people where they live, where they work, and therefore there's more concern by the general public about what all these autonomous systems are doing, flying around their backyards and things like that. So we want to educate people about what the use cases are for drones and that they are used for a community benefit. We are working on use cases like search and rescue, security, for port security, for instance, but also environmental protection. So when ships come in, are they polluting the air? We can measure that now with drones. Is the coastal, the beaches, are they being kept clear of debris? Do we see oil floating around? So the drones are a great instrument to do environmental protection and compliance of already existing environmental laws to make sure that people stay compliant with that. So there's a lot of benefits that come out of using drones. So that's what we want to highlight and want to educate the public about, and including wildlife. So wildlife protection is also a very interesting use case for drones. Fort Monroe is great for us because it has direct access to water bodies. Water is considered by the FAA as basically low-level population. I mean, yes, there are some boaters and others, but water is relatively lower risk than flying over the city itself. That's why we have picked that as a first area of operation. But also it's a very important location because there's a lot going on in the lower Chesapeake Bay with the big ships, with a lot of little boats, with pleasure boats, with swimmers, with beaches. And so the Fort Monroe location gives us instant access to that area without bothering really anybody. We have a good agreement with the National Park Service. We have a great agreement with the Fort Monroe Authority about operating drones for research in that location. And the location is just great for us. So we are working on what we call the Maritime Surveillance Corridor. That is a corridor that starts at Fort Monroe and that spans over the lower Chesapeake Bay, which is actually part of Hampton, the city of Hampton. and where we can develop a use case where we can fly with drones along the beach and over the open water to, for instance, respond to a swimmer in distress or a boater that has problems. And with a drone, it's much faster than going out with a little boat or other means. And so we're very excited. It's a joint project with NASA to develop that lower Chesapeake Bay as an integrated corridor. It's not a separated corridor, where we are setting up enough sensors like radars and other means to be able to operate these drones with other participants in the national airspace, like the military helicopters or other general aviation airplanes. So with the radars, we're able to see who is all operating in that same corridor, and then we can safely plan our missions around that. My favorite part has been to bring in the students from Hampton University and really giving them a real-life experience of operating not only the drones in a professional way and with professional missions. We actually give them 6 weeks of training, even though they have their Part 107 license from the FAA. That doesn't come with any practical training. So we train them for 6 weeks about how to operate the drones in a professional way, and then taking them out and letting them completely handle missions that are supporting our research, and seeing how much they enjoy that, and also exposing them to modern equipment like the Raytheon radar. And the operational room that we have set up allows them to get ready for a future where autonomy and autonomous operations are going to be more the standards than the exception.
So I became involved with the Longbow Group because I am a graduating senior at Hampton University. So with them, we are actually partnered with Longbow for internships. So I'm one of the paid interns from Hampton University. I am the chief pilot as well as chief of safety and operations at Longbow. Personally, I like just like the view overall. I mean, it's a lot better than in downtown Hampton because you have like the beach, and then like right now E2 is flying like right overhead, which is really nice. Now it is a little windy out here, but I mean, you're on the water, so can't really do much about that. But other than that, flying Fort Monroe is really fun. Always a different challenge from what we normally do, which is flying down over the Hampton River. So something new and different, which is always good to do.
We love to engage. We love to educate them on the use of drones and how it benefits not only the Fort Monroe, the national park, but the whole community in Hampton and Hampton Roads. So I love to do more outreach to the public to make sure that they understand what exactly we are doing there at Fort Monroe. And hopefully this helps to do that.